Way back in the 1930s, when there was that huge debacle with the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, who simply, in many people's eyes, wouldn't behave because whatever they did brought further embarrassment onto the British monarchy. You could often say, could you not, that history truly does repeat itself. You see, with the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, really, they had no firm roles. They had nothing to do. She was bored, just like partying, and really just liked attention, like being in fashion magazines and like spending money, as we saw later on. Of course, the former king was suddenly bored. His own freedom flight, some might say, literally petered out, where he was invited more as a curiosity, an oddity, rather than someone who truly held power and in fact had ruled a kingdom. That's exactly what celebrity happens, and more importantly, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex truly found that later on. Yes, there were still one or two people from Britain that kept in touch, but nowhere near the amount of people that they thought. A little bit like Prince Harry today, they thought that people were going to be on their side and at some point even overturn their decisions so that he could return and become king once again with Wallis back at his side. It's a little bit like Harry and Meghan, isn't it? But this time, of course, Harry's creating something of a terrible New York state of mind for currently the British monarchy. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time. Nice to have your company. I know it is a funny thing, isn't it? You know, history does repeat itself. And it's always the case, I find, you know, because it's a bit like celebrities when they have an offspring who doesn't quite know or doesn't know whether they can make it or not. And suddenly they start selling secrets, you know, the sort of thing. Even recently, the big explosion, say, between Britney Spears and her sister, it all plays out terribly badly. Now, as we know, Prince Harry next month is popping along to New York for the Diana Award, and once again we found out that Meghan won't be by his side. Obviously, as I told you the other day, the reason behind that, I think, is the absolute supreme embarrassment over the tissue of lies about the catastrophic car chase that played out in May 2023. Ridiculous. Everybody knew it wasn't the case. And of course, the New York City Police Department basically said, we didn't see anything like that. The taxi driver said that. And even the New York mayor, well, had to go on and suppress some kind of giggles. So it comes as a bit of a shock, but more importantly, huge embarrassment over here for the British monarchy, simply because now it's been emerged that the New York City Police Department chief has been in touch with the Met Police to assure them that they would be affording extra security for the former royal known as Prince Harry amongst his brand new visit to New York City, all funded by the taxpayer. Now you might suggest, well, why shouldn't he be? Of course, he's a prince of the realm and, more importantly, the son of the king. But he stepped away from all of that. But this is where it really plays out badly, you see, because once again, what you have to think about is when real members now of the British monarchy go back to America, as of course Prince William may do with his Earthshot Prize, this plays out badly and creates contention and, more importantly, embarrassment and, of course, anger from all the taxpayers that have had to shunt out and pay for somebody that is not really their responsibility. They didn't get asked to be paid for this. And as everybody's struggling with the cost of living crisis, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't look good. But of course, in the court of Harry and Meghan, it's all about what they want, and they are pushing hard for this security. Now, what's interesting here is the fact that the head of the New York City Police Department did reach out to the Met Police, and we're told it's average level security. But nonetheless, New Yorkers, you're paying for the privilege of Harry to turn up once again in his climate-laden airline, no doubt, and basically to pick up yet another award. A notable one, but couldn't it have been done via Zoom and saved everybody a lot of money, and more particularly, further embarrassment for the British monarchy? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.